Biden's had a rough presidency so far, folks. No way around that. It's now looking more and more obvious to everybody it's actually a catastrophe. Build back better, which never even happened. If it had, would have actually made things worse. You've also got, I'm not going to shut down the economy, I'm going to shut down the virus. Didn't shut down the virus, but certainly done plenty of damage to the economy, and people are figuring this out. Not just people like me who are Republicans who knew that Joe Biden was an imbecile from the start. I'm talking about independents, swing voters, the people who will look at the results of a Biden presidency and say, yeah, I don't want any more of this kind of stuff. And the Democrat Party, of course, goes along with them because they're in charge. And we've got a midterm election coming up. How is it looking for Biden as we approach this critical midterm election? Well, 538 has pulled together an aggregate of polls to show that 54% disapprove and only 40%, 40.8% approve, which is near an all-time low for any president. So here we are. You'd think, given what they promised us, that Joe Biden would be taking victory laps, but instead you have the media running out of options for defense of this administration. They don't even know what to say. NBC News had a story over the weekend that you have to read to believe because there's so much in there about a White House in disarray, about a commander-in-chief who seems befuddled by the most straightforward situations, who has to have his staffers clean up his messes on a regular basis, and then who gets aggravated with them because they try to help clarify some of the comments that Biden has made. This is from NBC News. Crises have piled up in ways that have at times made the Biden White House look flat-footed. That's generous. Record inflation, high gas prices, a rise in COVID case numbers, and now a Texas school massacre that is one more horrific reminder that Biden has been unable to get Congress to pass legislation to curb gun violence. Democratic leaders are at a loss about how he can revive his prospects by November, when midterm elections may cost his party control of Congress. You don't say. This is NBC News saying, wow, yeah, it's really been tough for this Biden administration. I guess it's kind of hard for Joe to deliver on all those things he promised. And of course it's hard for Joe Biden. Joe Biden is an imbecile. We all know it. You know it. I know it. This is obvious. It's been obvious all along. This presidency was foisted on the American people through the conniving media, pretending that somehow Joe Biden wasn't, to call it past his prime, is far too generous.